All right, we are ready. We are ready. Guys, welcome. Welcome to the second session of Goalside Reporters program. As you, this is not your first time. You probably remember me from last time. I'm Andrew Walcott, our program director, and Jessica Yap Chung is also here. She's working, she's in the chat. She's the person who's been WhatsApping you from Goalside if you're in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, she will drop a link where you can join the WhatsApp group in the chat. Jessica, let's see if we can drop the link in the chat at some point. So anybody who wants to join can join. I think it works like that. If you're on your phone or your computer, you should be able to join. But today we have a very, very special session lined up for everyone. We have as our guest reporter, sporting journalist, Aundreen Leslie. And I will do a quick little rundown of who Aundreen is. She is a 24-year-old sports journalist and content creator. She's a proud alum of St. Jago High School and later pursued a Bachelor of Arts in History and Journalism at the University of the West Indies. She now pursues a Master's of Science in Sports Business Management at the university, and her passion for storytelling and sports has led her to a career where she gets to highlight the incredible moments and incredible athletes as she shapes the industry. Today, she's excited to share her journey and her insights with you. And as you already know, she will be presenting, focusing on multimedia and digital content creation, which is essential for what our program is all about, because we're going to have the challenges starting this week. And we want to all know how to get the best grades so that we can win the top prizes. So I would urge everyone to, Mr. Oliver said, take your notes. So make sure you're taking your notes this week. She'll be doing a presentation style presentation. She has a PowerPoint that she's going to show you and run through with you. And before she does that, I do have some questions for you, Miss Aundreen Leslie. Who here likes to play Would You Rather? Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Alexa is in the background going off on me. Sorry about that. All right, Aundreen, I want to have 5 Would You Rathers, and I want everybody to participate as well. You can participate by saying A or B in the messages, in the messaging area. So, would you rather get an exclusive one-on-one interview with your favorite athlete, or be the first to break a major sporting scandal? That's for you, Aundreen. One-on-one interview with your favorite athlete, or break a major sports scandal?
Break a major sporting scandal.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're diverging immediately from the group. Everyone so far has said A, but okay, that's fine. We'll have another one. Let's see if we line up. Would you rather cover the Olympics in person, but with no access to interviews, or have exclusive interviews with gold medalists, but only be able to watch the events on TV?
What's A again?
Be able to attend the Olympics in person, but no access to interviews.
I can watch on TV and get interviews after.
Right? Yeah. I feel that one. Everyone else agrees. B. All right. Would you rather report live from the sidelines of a championship game in terrible weather conditions, or cover the post-game press conference but risk missing a historic play?
A.
A?
Yeah.
All right. 2 more to go. Everybody's aligned except for that first question. This is interesting. Would you rather have an all-access pass to the locker room after every game, or be the only journalist allowed in the team strategy meetings, but you can't report what you hear until after the season ends? I feel like I need to repeat that one.
I would like all access to the locker room.
All access. Okay, yes. So we have A, B, A. This is, yeah. Mostly A's, a couple B's though. Okay, mixed ones. And for the final one, guys, thanks for this one. Would you rather be the go-to journalist for breaking sports news with tight deadlines, or be known for writing long-form investigative pieces that take months to publish? So, breaking news or long form?
Breaking news.
Breaking. All right. Wow. A couple. Yeah, it's almost split evenly as well. A little bit more for the A's, but interesting. All right. Well, I mean, thanks for joining us, Aundreen. Very
Alright.
to have you. And we are looking forward to hearing what you have to say. I know you are ready for us, so I'm going to hand it over to you. Please take it away.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. I am an interactive person, so I'd love if I can hear you guys back, if I can see your faces, because I go off moods.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good
I
afternoon. Hello.
Can any of you guys turn on your cameras? Or we don't do cameras?
We don't usually do cameras. It's if they're comfortable with it, we'd love to see you guys. If not, that's also fine.
No, that's fine. I just want to see if anybody can actually. Yeah. Because as I said, I go off moods and face expressions when I talk. So it will work better for me.
All right.
All right. So I got 2 persons. So that's good. And I can work with that. All right. So let me give a breakdown on myself again before sharing. So I'm Aundreen. The last name is not important. But I'm Aundreen. I went to St. Jago. I went to St. Jago for 7 years. I'm a past head student. I was the president of everything. So I can't even get into that. I am also one of the alums that people look forward to as a young Raven, which is what you call St. Jago past students before they get to 25. Once you pass 25, you become an old boy or old girl. But before 25, you're a young Raven. So I'm one of those past students that them call for everything. Aside from that, I attended the University of the West Indies, never been a guild member, but was on everybody's committee. I'm now a second-year master's student in sport business management, the face of the faculty. So that's a little about me, extended from what you've heard earlier. I also run my own digital portfolio, which is Dream the Journalist, and I have worked with 876 Stream. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna share my screen, and I'd like you guys to tell me if you can hear me. Hi to the persons that are joining. I don't think I'll be able to fully see. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go in slideshow mode. So I'm going to click on that. You're going to tell me if you still can see. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. So today's presentation will be on multimedia and digital content creation in sport journalism. For me, I would like it to be interactive. So I know that Andrew doesn't really prefer for you guys to stop me in the presentation because I do have a Q&A at the end.
It's all up to you, Aundreen. It's all up to you.
Well, I thought about it. So if you really do need to stop me in the presentation, you can. Since I can't see it, just say, hey, Aundreen, I have a question, and I'll pause. Or you can write down your question and save it for the Q&A section that I do have it at the end of the presentation. That's good, everybody?
Yeah, that's good.
That's okay.
Okay, great. All right, so the importance of, you guys already got a welcome. So the importance of multimedia and digital content creation in sport journalism. So the 3 importance is really to enhance audio engagement, to have real-time and wider reach, and to diversify your storytelling. So with your audience engagement, your aim is to have elements through multimedia such as videos, graphics, interactive content that make sports stories more engaging, capturing the audience attention. It's always better than text. So instead of going to Instagram and just typing Arnett Gardens just won Montego Bay United 3-1. If you actually capture the video to say, or Racing United won Arnett Gardens 5-1, to capture the goals in that sense would be your interactive content. To get behind the scenes would be your interactive content. To hear from the coach would be your interactive content. That makes the story more engaging and that captures your audience attention, because quite frankly, nobody wants to see just text alone, because it doesn't move you. Any images, a proper graphic, that's what makes your audience engage, and that's what makes people want to come to you as a sport content creator. Real time and wider reach. It's important to have live updates, live coverage. A lot of persons, I can use Netball Jamaica as an example. The Netball Jamaica page flourish once there is a match going on. So for example, I was the one in the Netball Jamaica page for the England series and the Australia series. And I, for one, realized that the page went from 0 to 100 real quick once we were having a match, and then nobody cares about netball after. That's just how Jamaicans are. So once a match is going on, everybody's tuning in because we want the scores, we want to know what just happened. Show me the Instagram stories, show me exactly what's happening, because at the end of the day, you're trying to reach a global audience very quickly, very efficiently. You're trying to make sure what you're putting out is actually correct. And, you know, that's what people like. Diversify storytelling. So your aim is to use different type of formats. So whether it's videos, whether it's podcasts, whether it's infographics, that normally help you as a journalist present complex stories in an appealing and accessible way, catering to different audience preferences. So you might wonder, what do I mean by different audience preferences? Please remember, guys, not everyone can hear. Not everyone can see. I have a friend personally that is deaf, but this person loves sports, and all this person does is look out for the infographics. They look out for Montego Bay United posting 3-2. They look out for Volleyball Jamaica putting that the under 20 team did this. That's what they look out for as a sports person. They look out for the full time, the halftime, because you can't hear the match. You can watch the match, but you can't hear the match. So they look out to see these things. So you have to remember that you have different audience preferences. You have different persons who love sports, and your aim as a sport journalist is really to cater to all those different type of audience. So moving on. So the evolution of sport journalism. So we went from print to digital transformation. We went from we had the rise of social media to real-time reporting. We have the impact of technology on content consumption. And you guys might be wondering, what do I mean exactly? So back in the days, print was really what our grandparents, probably our parents, really looked to. I don't know if you guys have this issue with your parents, but my mother will read something in the newspaper and text it to me. And I'm like, girl, I see this on the Gleaner app already. Or I already saw this on Gleaner's Instagram. And she's like, you young people don't read anymore. But quite frankly, I do read. I read the same article that she's just reading on print, because I'm the type of person who actually open up the Gleaner article and read it. So the evolution of sports is very interesting because of the niche of what we do. And it makes me happy personally to see young persons coming in sport journalism and actually doing things that probably I didn't even think about. So let's move on. key multimedia platforms for sport journalism. So you have social media, where you have the Twitter or the X, whichever one you want to call it. You have Instagram, you have TikTok, you have Facebook, and don't forget LinkedIn. You also have websites and bloggers. You have podcasts and live streaming, whether through YouTube, Twitch, or Spotify. And you have digital magazines and news apps. So can any of you guys tell me any sport journalists that use any of these that you personally love?
Boateng's a good Boateng's.
I would put him as a sport journalist, yeah.
Yeah, on Twitter.
Yeah, he keeps a Twitter space. Anybody else?
I think most of the ones that I know, like Alexis Nunes and Nikhil Uttam Chandani, they were part of last season. They're very big on TikTok and Instagram. So that's it from me.
True. Anybody else? You guys don't know any podcasters? Any live streamers? Because I can give you two.
Oh, you have MG Sports as well.
MG's a live streamer. That's true. Any podcasters? I think you guys should go and look for somebody named Baller Yard. He's a podcaster. I think that's the name of it. He's the first person that came to my mind. So he does podcasts with different persons in football, and then he probably makes them into reels to put up on Instagram, but it's actually a podcast. So I'm not sure if you guys, if you follow content like that, would have seen a video with Craig Butler, and he's like, I can't wait for Buck on it. I can't wait to Buck Mount Pleasant and Big Ed Speed. Wait till my William. Yeah, that was actually a podcast. So you can check him out.
He's on YouTube. So I'm gonna drop a link to his Instagram page in the chat. So
he's also on YouTube. Great.
Well, I'm assuming it's the right person. I found Balyard JA. I hope it's right.
Yeah,
person.
More likely it's the same person. Right. So that's actually a podcast that they started some time ago, and it's been doing very well. A lot of people do like to go on his podcast. All right, so essential multimedia skills for sport journalists, and this is where it becomes very important. So when you're starting off, you're probably not the most equipped. You don't have these $10,000 cameras. You don't have these MacBooks to do your editing, and therefore, you can go to the little simple things, but can be very effective if you know exactly how to use them. So for video editing and production, you have Adobe, you have Final Cut, and you have CapCut. Most persons in Jamaica use CapCut. Adobe is for skilled video editors. But don't get me wrong, if you're interested in learning Adobe, you have YouTube tutorials that can help you. But for me, I use CapCut and I get the job done. You have graphic design for sports content. You can use Canva or you can use Photoshop. With me, I'm a theme girl. So if you check my personal sport page, I would have rebranded a couple days ago, and I went to the colors of purple and pink. So right now, all my graphics coming out on sport content is purple and pink. So that's Dream the journalist. But I use Canva. I know the type of stuff that I want. I know that I want gold graphics. I know that I want to put out match day graphics. I know that I want all of those stuff. So I would have looked up for all of those things, place it in my colors, slap my logo on it, and put my little taste on it. So once you have an idea of what you want, it definitely can work. Audio editing and podcast production, you have Audacity and you have Anchor. I, for one, have used Audacity before. I have a couple of my friends who are telling me to start podcasts, but to me, it's a lot of work. But if you think this is your way into the industry, sure, go ahead, read up on them. And then you have live reporting and social media engagements, which we'll get into very soon. So those are like the essential skills that you really need as a sport journalist, especially if you're independent. So creating engaging sports content. So these are some past content that I would have done before, probably in my younger days. Why am I saying younger days like I'm old? But probably like when I just started, let me use that. So with me, it was important to understand my audience. It was important to write compelling headlines and have captions that persons understand. It was important to utilize visuals and the infographics. It was very important to balance facts with storytelling. And it was very important to have interviews and expert insights. So a lot of people don't know. I said, I do a lot of things. I just don't brag. But I also run the Hockey Jamaica page. So when they went to Oman, I was the one that was making sure everything was updated on Hockey Jamaica. I was the one getting back images from photographers over there in Oman when they went for World Cup. I was the one getting these graphics out and posting. And Jamaica and Oman are two different time zones. So when these guys had matches, Jesus, it was so early in the morning. It was like 1 and 12 a.m. and 2 a.m. It was like, if you watch athletics and you know, the Olympics are come, and them dep on the other side of the world, you wake up, you set your alarm for 3:15, 100 meter run 3:15, and you now miss it. That is how it was with Hockey Jamaica. I was like, I gotta be up. The guys are playing, whether them win, lose, or draw, and them lose everything. But the point is, Jamaica was in the World Cup, so woo! So I did all of those. I also dabbled heavy in lacrosse. So I think the two middle contents are lacrosse things. One of my mentors, which you guys will meet soon in your program, which is Simon Preston. Simon would have said, hey, Aundreen, you're liked in many organizations. I feel like I want to bring you into lacrosse. And here is something that I want you to do. I want you to be a stadium announcer. And I said, Simon, I don't think I can do it. Simon said, I'm going to give you the mic and you're going to do it. And I was one of the best according to Lacrosse Association. And it was fun. I didn't understand the sport. It was my first day and I was the stadium announcer. And bear in mind, as I said, I didn't understand the sport. I had a little lacrosse person behind me. Behind me, the young girl, which is Shakira. She plays lacrosse. So they were around me and they were helping me to say the correct things. I remember wrong terms sometimes. You know, in football, you have the terms of pile and those nice things. And that's a bare rubbish at first. But probably by 10 o'clock, I got the hang of it. And they gave me the terms and they're like, yeah, you're going to learn this today. And by 1 o'clock, Simon was like, ah. So this is also something where your love for sport journalism will help you get through some hard battles. Because to me, that was a hard battle. And you're going to have fun while doing it. And that's what's important. Digital storytelling in sport journalism. So with this, you have two types. You have short form and you have long form. And then we have, well, you can look up case studies of successful digital sport journalism. A good person to get case studies from is Donald Oliver. You guys would have met him in your first session. And how to develop a personal brand in sport journalism. So those are the things that are important when it comes to your digital storytelling. Leveraging social media for sport reporting. So with this, you have to have the best practices for engagement. It's important for you to use your hashtags and trends effectively, live tweeting and game day coverage strategies, and interacting with your fans and your athletes. So as I said, these ugly graphics were when I just started. Oh, it's so embarrassing. But I chose to use them because I wanted you guys to see that no matter what you're putting out, once you're putting out facts and you're having fun while doing it and you grow the love for the profession, everything will come easy after a while. So, you know, I was still learning Canva, and it's strange because people say Canva is easy, but I was still learning Canva. And we're at Olympics time. At this time, I was also working for 876 Stream. So I'm posting on the Stream page, I'm posting on the J3 page, as well as I was doing things for myself. And I remember this one very special because this was when Godspeed got his PB, and Antonia and I are like this. So I was like, no man, I have to put this out. I have to put this out on my page. And everything that I was tweeting to Stream, I would copy it, or J3, I would copy it, and I would go over on my personal Twitter and I would put it back, but I would add the emojis and the flair. And in that time, you have this girl named Jordan's name on Twitter, that everybody looks to her for tweets when it's track and field time. Boy, I think everybody look to them for tweets. You have Swift, everybody looks to them for tweets, and you have, how my G name again? Fort, Temal. Yeah, everybody looks to them for tweets. And I was in that conversation with those type of people. Like, people are like, oh my God, Aundreen is giving us updates and she quick with it. But pity them never know, so because I did a work for Stream and J3. So before they could put that out, I was already there. I was before them. So I was live tweeting before those Twitter people that everybody looked to for track. And I remember I posted this and I got a FaceTime call from Antonio, and he was like, your graphic is so ugly. I'm sorry, bro, but at least you look good. And he's like, worst picture ever, but I'm proud of you. And you know, to me, that made me feel so good to hear him say, I'm proud of you. So once you're having fun and you're doing what you love, everything comes natural. So you just use your hashtags, you look at the trends that's going on. A good place to find trends is TikTok, and you just interact with your fans and your athletes, and yeah, you'll grow very quickly. Any questions? No. Okay, great. So, ethics and credibility in digital sports journalism. So it's very important to always verify sources and avoid misinformation, responsible reporting on sensitive topics, and handling online criticism and maintaining professionalism. So a lot of persons don't know as well, but I also for some time ran the Jamaica Football Federation page. I personally use this section of Simon's chat because I don't know if a lot of persons saw this thing going on with Richard is leaving and him supposed to cut because Europe call him, and boy, that was a conversation. Or the conversation on Mason Greenwood that he has switched his allegiance and he's coming here.
Give us a little bit more. Give us a little more background on the context with Richard King.
So, what exactly do you mean by context?
What was the situation? You alluded to.
Oh, it was misinformation.
What? Okay. What was the information that was out there?
They said that he was supposed to leave in January.
Okay.
I believe that's what the Observer had put out. I would have to go and read it back, but that's what they were alluding to, that he's supposed to leave and he won't finish out the Jamaica Premier League season. And yes, so the reason I use this screenshot is because when I saw the list of the JFF and I saw that, this is before it went out to everybody, I saw that he was a part of the squad. I texted Simon and I said, I thought Richard was leaving, and Simon said, LOL, me too. And I said, you know what, give me some things on Richard. I called Richard, I said, we need an interview for the JFF page. And this is actually a list of things that Simon had said. He has 20 caps for Jamaica debut 2022 to versus Peru, and he gave me a list of things. I called Richard and I said, I know you're leaving to go to Europe, but can you grace me some of your time? And he laughed. But I bring this up to say verifying your sources and avoiding misinformation is very it's very important when you're dealing with digital sports journalism because people will sue you. A good example of that again is with knockings. What name again? Mr. Speed would have been upset at a video that they would have posted with Mr. Butler saying some things about Speed, and Speed basically said, "I'll let my lawyers deal with it." Knockings would have put out a statement saying, "Hey guys, I believe that it's important for us to allow everybody to talk," and the dabs, you read through it, you understand, but people will sue you. So it's very important to verify your sources to avoid misinformation, because while everybody was putting out that Richard was leaving, I did not even ask Richard and I never posted it, because with me, when it comes to these sporting associations, I prefer to be last and accurate than to be first and put out misinformation. So it's best to be last and accurate than to be first and putting out misinformation.
We've heard that before, yes. Real Riley Dunn had his hand up. I don't know if you had something to ask or to contribute.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that the credibility is not much. It's not popular because we have seen even in the transfer window for the JPL, few misinformation came about.
That's true.
Yeah, so I don't think it's credible. And I think it's good for we as journalists to stay unbiased.
That's also true. When it comes to the Jamaica Premier League, I said this to a friend the other day and they laugh. And I'm not saying that this person that I'm about to name can't make errors, but so far, and you can correct me because I know you follow the JPL, I know you're a racing fan, but you can let me know if BAM Sports ever made an issue or made an error. But I always tell my friends, I don't listen to nobody but BAM,
Who is a racing fan?
So far has been right. All when the player himself tell me him now move, BAM say him a move, and by the time next week I see him on the field with the team. I mean, I thought you said you weren't moving. So I always say when it comes to JPL transfers, if an BAM say it, I lie.
No, we call BAM the Fabrizio Romano for Jamaica.
Yeah, like if an BAM say it, I don't know. Or him get information sometimes. Me have to wonder, oh, me are working at the system and the man have more information than me, but him good. And I think with him, he verifies. It's very rare with him. And that's why when people say things to him are ready to cuss him off, which heads to how you handle online criticism and you maintain your professionalism. I have never seen him answer back anybody on social media. He always handles the online criticism very well. And at the end of the day, he always proves to be correct. So another example of that would be with MG and the Maggie moving to Mount Pleasant situation. And I think the only reason Maggie responded the way he responded is because he called a team. I think if MG had stated, hey, breaking news, Tariq Maggie will be in the Jamaica Premier League for the rest of the season, then there wouldn't be an issue. I think it's because he placed the Mount Pleasant logo and said, okay, this is where, and we heard that Mount Pleasant is giving him this money, which in fact was true, But the issue was he never was gonna accept that Mount Pleasant money. So that's where the intricate details come in. So verify, avoid posting misinformation, be responsible with your reporting on sensitive topics and people's lives. And always remember that handling online criticism, it's gonna happen, but always maintain your professionalism. So let's move. I won't really get in detail with this, but this is for something that you guys, if you're interested, you can research on yourselves. So monetizing comes very easy when you're a sports content creator, but you have to put a lot of work and time and effort into it. So you can have YouTube and social media, you can get sponsored content and partnerships. subscriptions and memberships, freelancing, and independent sports reporting. You can also reach out to persons who do these things for more information. So for example, a person like Tanya Lee is somebody that you can talk to when it comes to partnerships and independent sport reporting, because she runs Leap Marketing. When it comes to YouTube, Mr. What's his name again? One of the managers of JFF, he has his thing with Unseen Sports, which is Parchment. I can't remember. Them have this little YouTube thing. I'm not sure if them get to the monetization, but they've really been putting in the work. So you can check them out as well. But when you're a sports content creator, it's very easy to get into the monetizing, but it's gonna take a lot of work to get there.
Guys,
So
I'm
you-
dropping the links to a lot of the persons that we're talking about in the chat. So if you want to check it out there, just let you know.
Okay, great. Thank you.
course.
So the tools and resources for digital content creation. So the free and paid softwares for content creation, I would have already explained that earlier with you call that Canva and Adobe and all of those stuff. You can do online courses and communities for skill development. You can get those things easily looking it up. And to be honest, you don't even need the courses. You can just go to YouTube. Trust me, there's someone there explaining these stuff. I learned that very easy way. If I don't understand something in school, I go to YouTube. Everything is on YouTube. Like everything is on YouTube. Networking opportunities in sport journalism. It's very important that you mingle. So for me, I hope you guys have been looking at the images I've been putting up. But everybody in the sport industry is my friend. I walk and talk to everybody. I know. Listen, especially if you're coming to the Jamaica Premier League, oh God, man. Me and every sponsor a friend. Me have a friend from Jane, a friend from St. Mary's. This construction place will sponsor Portmore. JMB, NCB. Me and everybody a friend. Me and the world Sportsmax. Right now, every man will work, or every woman, everybody will work from Sportsmax. Will come at JPL are my friend. And the reason I said this is because now that I'm not working, I've gotten so many job opportunities, and it's not that I don't know what to take. I just don't want to run into anything. And I got these opportunities because of how I mingled and my personality and the resources. So it's very important for you to network. I heard a hand, I believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just want to say that you cannot be even if you're an introvert as a sports journalist, when it comes on to doing the job in person, you cannot be an introvert. Makes no sense.
True.
It makes no sense. You're blackballing yourself, basically.
That's true. And
There was also interesting perspective on networking that we got from I think it was George Davis last season. The video is up on YouTube if anybody wants to see, his whole session just on networking and what it really is. I'm sure Aundreen would agree with a lot of the things he says, that it has a lot to do with integrity and making sure, respecting ethics and boundaries. And, you can go and shake a hand and meet somebody, but there's a lot to do with your personal character and making sure that comes across a lot. So, Aundreen, you can tell me what you think. Everybody said them love you. You said everybody love you. Why you think that is? Or what qualities are they seeing in you as a sports?
I would say it's my personality. And it's funny that you asked. For those who follow my journalism page, you can check it out. I just started this new series in my Dream the Journalist that is called How to Build a Personal Brand in Sport Journalism. And the 6 things that I mentioned was 1, having a vision for the foundation. So you're defining what you stand for, where you want to go in your career. So with me, when I started, I told everybody what I wanted. I told them where I wanted to be. And Mariah is one of the persons I look up to. So I always say, I want to be like Mariah. I always said it. And then number 2, your personality brings your brand to life. So because of how I am, I run up and I make everybody my friend. And I'm like, hi, I'm Aundreen. And I try to put myself even in the spaces, even if I feel uncomfortable. That's what I do. And then number 3, delivering the value is essential. So consistently providing insightful content that educates, entertain, or inspires your audience. So with me even doing this thing on my Instagram, for me was cringed. But I know that someone else will hear it and actually want to join sport journalism. For me, that's a win. Staying authentic to who I am and my beliefs, and as credibility is the key in this industry. I've seen things, I've learned things by being in this industry, and I've also realized that persons will do things just to tear you down. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not working anymore, because somebody did something that tore me down. And I said to myself, that's not even me. I'm never going to rebut on social media. I'm never going to give you the light to see that you've crushed me. I know in myself that I'm going to be the best sport journalist, or one of the best as a female ever. And that's the aim I'm going for. I'm not going to let anybody stop me. And then 5, you have to have commitment to growth and consistency, and your hard work will always set you apart over time. So even though I'm not working with 876 Stream anymore, I have friends that still come to me and be like, oh, did you see the JFF match with the Reggae Girls? What do you think of this? Or, hey, I still want you to speak at this. What do you want us to introduce you as? Those things still happen, even though I'm not working anymore, because, hey, my commitment to growth and consistency and my hard work set me apart over the couple months that I started. And then finally, focus on your differentiation. Find what makes you unique, whether it's your storytelling style, whether it's your niche expertise or innovative approach. You find what makes you different than every other sport journalist, and you own it. For me, is my personality, and I own it. I'm not going to say, oh, another female journalist cannot come in and be as friendly as me. I just believe that who I am is different than every single person in the space, and therefore I'm valued for it. So I think that's what those are the things you need to really look at. So your vision, your personality, your value, staying authentic, your commitment and hard work, and finally your differentiation.
Oh, that was me.
Oh.
You were talking about finding your niche. So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that, Aundreen. I mean, you've been giving examples of persons who are in the industry and like what they like specialize in. But apart from personality, which I can clearly see your personality and what that's like, what are other areas in which you think persons can dive into? And I ask this because there are a couple persons I know in the program who are not even interested in really being at the forefront of the page or the news. They don't need to be on the screen per se. What are areas in which they can find their niche? If you know what I'm saying. Everything okay over there? Okay. Not sure what's going on. I hope that it sorts out soon. But yeah, I was just asking. I don't know if anybody has any ideas for me as well. You can help me answer the question while Aundreen, her connection comes back. Which okay. I see where
I'm
Aundreen.
so sorry about that. My laptop died on me. I guess because I had it on full screen, I didn't even realize.
Oh, okay. That's man. Well, sorry. I know I
was on my phone while I just plug in my charger.
Yeah, man. Were you finished with the slides, or had more slides to go?
It was at the last slide. It was about to say Q&A, but we're basically doing that at the moment. So I'm just waiting on my laptop to come up. But since I signed in on my phone, we can continue in the meantime.
Okay. So I don't know if you heard the question I was asking. It was like, what are other niches that you've identified in sports reporters? Just as examples in terms of what can everybody else can look at what niches can be like. Yeah.
If I told you I was more a behind the scenes person, would you believe?
I think you're good at both. You could be good at both, but yeah.
Oh, for me, it's knowing what you really want to do. So I was telling somebody that when we started at Karma, our number one thing was when you come in is what exactly do you want to do? And I always said, oh, it's allowing me to rejoin. Let me rejoin back on my computer. But I always said, hey, I wanted to be a sport journalist. So I think it's important to know. Yeah, I think it's important to know exactly like what you want to do or what best matches who you are. I think that's a better way to put it. That's how you know your niche. So if you're a very good writer, and I don't mean like writing stories, but simply just writing captions. I am not the best at writing captions. I can tell you a little story. All of the captions for the Jamaica Premier League from August to January were Chat GPT. Never wrote any of them. But you guys see the videos out and you see the captions on the days when the matches are playing. Yeah. I think the only person who caught up to me was one of my friends, and she was like, every time you post the starting line, the starting 11, must see what you're doing, a girl. You just change round. She was like, you just change round the team and put the heart them for them colors at the same caption. And I was like, it's nice to see that you're understanding. But she's like one of the first to actually see that. So once that's not me, I'm not good at the writing thing. I'm excellent at research, but I'm not good at the writing. So once you know what you're good at as a person, you will be able to figure out your niche.
Well, I want to also say before, I mean, everybody has the opportunity to ask questions. Well, I running a page like ISSA, for example, you know, I'm not in front of the camera, but for the past couple of years we've been doing it. So there are times when I'm doing questions and I'm filming. But I feel like the niche there, you know, whilst it's not my personality, people are not tuning in to see me or anybody on my team. We do a good job of capturing the environment and the spirit and the vibe at a game. So getting in close to the fans, feeling like you are there, or like, you know, you're not watching it on TV, but you're actually in there with the chanting and all those things, and also getting up close with the athletes. That could be another perspective from which I think you could run your page. You'll never see you in it. You'll never see me or any of my team on the ISSA page, but you know, that's kind of how we go about getting the content on our end, whilst Aundreen is in front of the camera and a lot of other journalists are in front of the camera interviewing, like Trishana. I don't know, I think Trishana joined us, but I don't recognize it. I saw the picture. Trishana, if you're here, please make yourself known. Magon. But yeah, so there those are the different kinds of ways in which I look at sports journalism. And just to be clear, we're not journalists. I'm not. I'm a content creator or content manager. So different ways in which you can do it. But thanks, Aundreen. And I don't know if you had anything else to add to that, but we can open up the floor to everyone else who has questions. Please chime in if you like. We'll have less than 10 minutes. Wow, time flies. Anyone with any questions?
Anybody with any questions?
I just want good afternoon. It's not a question, but I just wanted to congratulate Aundreen for all it is that she's doing. And even though, you know, sometimes it gets really hard and people can be very mean sometimes, but once you continue to stay true to yourself, all will be well. So that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Especially if you're, know me from high school. Life has been very rough, but I found something that made me happy. And I think that's what bursts out when people see me. So I really do appreciate it.
That's very nice. Thanks, Brittany. Alika, you have your hand raised.
Good evening. Question: other than Carmack, what are other universities and NCU you think will like be a good place for students who want to study journalism?
UTech Jamaica, they have a media and communication. I think, don't get me wrong, not because I come to UWI, I believe UWI is the best media place to study in the Caribbean. It's not. That's just my personal opinion. I believe NCU is the best place to study media in Jamaica. That is my honest opinion. Because when I see my fellow colleagues, especially my NCU colleagues, they're so much further. They understand more things than me by far. I would say NCU, then UTech, and then the University of the West Indies. And it's just because I would say UE was number one back in the days, but things happen. Not that we have any worse lectures than we had before, but things happen. Probably don't have the same access to equipment anymore. Those little things that will enhance your learning experience. With the NCU and UTech, I think with UTech it's broad because you get graphic design, you have to learn videography, you have to learn photography, you do all of that when it comes to UTech. And then with NCU, you work directly with their media, radio station. So there is a difference. Right now, Carmack is trying to buy back the radio station not buy back. Carmack is trying to purchase the radio station on the campus so they can become the way and structure their classes the way NCU does. But for now, I would say NCU is the best place to go for media and communication.
I can just see Jessica writing the multiple choice question. Where does Aundreen say is the best place to go to school? But that's good to know. I didn't have that perspective. Any other questions? We have 4 more minutes, and I do have some housekeeping stuff and some announcements to make shortly after, but I want to give everyone the opportunity to ask their question.
No more questions? You guys learned anything? You had fun with my presentation?
I think
Like
we did.
I did. I personally did. We learned a lot, but I don't have any questions to ask you because if I even planned on asking anything, one of my classmates or one of the students in here already asked that question. So I'm just sitting waiting so I can learn from every person. Like I would normally participate, but y'all are so fun to listen to.
Thanks, Gabriel. Gabriel, which school are you from?
I'm from Clarendon College.
Oh, Clarendon. Wow. Wow. Were you here last weekend? I don't think we had anyone from Clarendon last weekend. It's so good to have you. Or at least I don't remember.
Wait, before Giovanni, because I see her hand up, I just want to see if I can quickly get some of the schools that are here. Anybody here from St. Jago? Because I know that St. Jago had sent out the stuff.
But everyone can just drop their school in the comments.
Drop their school in the chat so I can see quickly. And then in the meantime, Bishop Yusel. Purple Heart, Yui. Hey, Brittany. Wilmers, CC. Wilmers. Oh, the Wilmers are out, man.
Yes, Wilmers is well represented.
Love to see it. Fun fact, it was my first choice, But when you have your parents going somewhere and then your brother going there and then your aunt and uncle and your grandparents and your cousins and my parents made it sure. I don't know if them call ministry, but they made sure that St. Jago is where I was going to pass for. And I cried. I really cried because my average was 95 and I had Wilmot's Girls as my first choice. And I was so confused how the ministry sent me to St. Jago. But I'm a Wilmerian by heart. I genuinely love the institution.
By blood.
St. Elizabeth Tech, nice. Hey, Stats. St. Catherine High alumni. Proud. Okay. Nice to see. Giovanni, do you still have anything you want to ask before I hand over to Andrew?
Yes. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
it's not really a question, but I learned a lot today about especially about infographics. I think like that I didn't realize that it was for like deaf people basically kinda. But when I go on Instagram and I see infographics, I'm like, oh, interesting. Because it like it catch my eye so quickly. And then I realized, oh, that much I go on good man. Because even with the Tivoli and Arnett match the other day, I was really in tune. Even though I wasn't watching it live, I was keeping update with Instagram page. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Also, I have this Instagram page that I'm a bit shy with it. It's called My Topic Job, and it's basically me talking to my teammates and asking them questions. And I realized that you said something about Audacity and Anchor, I think, for
mm-hmm.
audio editing. So I'm glad for that information. And also about networking too. Like, yeah, I play soccer, so I'm kind of big in the soccer industry. I know a
You
lot of
play
people,
soccer,
but
you want to tell them exactly who you are, but you play soccer. Guys, this
uh,
is one of the Reggae Girls goalkeepers for U20.
don't toot my horn. And the thing is,
Let's not
we
make
want
it seem like you just play soccer. She represents the country and she does it well.
Giovanni, trying to go incognito here?
don't try to toot my horn, but yeah, I know a lot of people too, and I'm trying to like get in this. I'm trying to get in the sports marketing, social media management area. And I reached out to Aundreen telling her what I'm interested in, and she gave me some like important information. And I really do appreciate that. And I'm trying to reach out more to some people that's like above me to like broaden my perspective on everything that I want to do after college and all of that. So thank you for this information. Was
You're
very useful
welcome.
and insightful. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm glad that you enjoyed the presentation because I always tell people the best persons in sport journalism are the persons that either played sports before or you have a genuine love for sports. And those are always the best. So I'm happy that you enjoyed and I'm glad that you could take some takeaways from the presentation. Princeton?
Hello, good evening. I am like the head of PR for a club at my school, so I was wondering if you could give me some tips to help me improve like the social media.
What's the club?
Law Society.
Oh, you can do trivias, fun facts. Have you looked at the Mona Law Society page?
I haven't, but my president has.
That's a good place to go because they do a lot of things as university law students. You can do birthday graphics for your exec. You can do outreach projects.
Like
Um,
we have paired with like Campion, and we went to the Gordon House last week actually and met the most honorable I forgot her name, but we met this very nice lady who's in the government who helped us.
She's a
is it
lawyer. Mala
Senator
I think she's a
Dana?
lawyer, yes.
Oh, she's a
Wait,
lawyer.
can you repeat?
Is it Senator Dana?
No.
Mala Fort.
Malahu Fort, yes, Malahu Fort.
Yeah, she's the attorney general. Yeah, she's the government lawyer. The government's lawyer.
Yeah, she's the government's lawyer. She's at AG.
Well, I wasn't there, but the upper schoolers were there.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool
My
networking. I have a couple. I mean, law is an interesting area. If you're able to hammer down how you can represent them online, you'll have a job for you coming up after school, because all the law firms are trying to figure that out as well.
Literally.
Yeah.
Without breaking the
Right.
law.
But as I said, a good place to look is the Mona Law Society. Not only Mona Law Society, you can take a look at Cave Hill Law Society, which is our sister campus. The law societies through the UE do a lot of interactive content. So if that's the type of content that you're looking for, you can take a look at them.
So I like what you said about the trivia, as well as like we've been trying to create like a little case to help, like when we go over to Campion, we're gonna have our like members do a case and try and solve it, use evidence, find
Yeah,
out how the evidence was formed. Yeah.
we call that mock court. That's the term for it. But yeah, I was gonna say mock course as well, but you guys are high schoolers. But if you want to do that for the fun of it, then sure.
Yeah, it's nothing too harsh. It's just like probably like a little theft, like some kind of theft of like a bank or something.
Just a little stealing.
Understood.
All right, we are well over time. We're about 5 minutes over our allotted time, and I know Aundreen has to get home. But I wanted to say this was such a great session, Aundreen. Thanks for the presentation and the efforts on it. As we saw, you put a lot into it, and I think everybody was very clear in terms of how much they appreciated the information you shared with us. So I just want to say big up, Aundreen. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys. I hope you have an amazing session with the rest of your presenters. And I personally want to meet whoever wins in 2.0. And you guys can, just like Jav, you guys can always text me. I'm always willing to help and give out information. So can hit me up on Instagram. I always respond. So thank you guys so much,
Aundreen, and all the best on your new career journey as well. Okay.
Thank you.